Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of Decorative Survival. So, in the last episode I built the bell tower up there. And a few episodes ago I made this flooring, but I ran out of stone and I wasn't entirely sure about it. So, what I've decided to do in this episode is just to test out some other floors to start off with. And in between episodes I did some various things, but annoyingly my stonemason in the village over there managed to take half a heart of damage and die, which is very inconvenient because one of the blocks that I wanted to test out was polished andesite, and now I have no reliable source of that because the new one sells polished granite. But I will still try it, and think if I prefer it I can probably get another stonemason. So yeah, I'm going to try out some of these materials and then I will be right back. Alright, so I'm fairly confident that I don't like the stone brick flooring, so I want to try out some other ones. Alright, so I'm back and I have cleared a little bit of the floor and placed down quite a bit of andesite, and I think this is all of the andesite that I could find. So, I guess I need to decide whether I want to continue with this or continue with this flooring. Now, the next thing that I'm planning on doing is, well, since I have finished the chapel part of this, I think it might be worthwhile to start building the cloisters. So I think that's probably going to be around here. So I'm going to get started on it and then I will be right back. Alright. So I wound up doing it slightly off where I was thinking I would do it, and I decided to do it 5 blocks wide, which is neatly divides my buttresses in and these other sections in the chapel in 2, which means that I can place flying buttresses, which I decided I needed because otherwise the buttresses would intersect with the cloister and I don't want that, and I saw this on some actual abbeys, so I wanted to be able to place them in a multiple of the number of sections that I had in here, and that is 5 blocks per section and then plus a block on either side. And these other ones are 11 blocks per section, plus 1 on either side, which means that that 2 of the cloister sections fit 1 of the chapel sections. And I also I did rather struggle with the arches here because they're so small. I decided to make them entirely out of blocks because I couldn't get them to look right without blocks, apart from on these inner ones where I used walls as well to kind of make it feel thinner right at the bottom. And yeah, that is the end of this time lapse. Alright, so I'm back, and as you can see this is not completely done, and that's because I ran out of andesite and bricks. Now I have a village over there, so I think it might be worth, considering I can't get andesite from my previous stonemason, because he died at the beginning of this episode, I could go over there and, well, I'd have to create a stone cutter because I want to keep using this one in my base. And here's a random iron ingot. So I think it would be a far shorter journey if I go over there, but of course I won't have any good way of gathering emeralds. What are these villagers doing? I mean, at least they're not jumping off, but right, now I actually have a stonemason in the village. I can grab some emeralds and probably figure out a better way of keeping them in that house. There, now you have a welcome mat. You're welcome. And of course, I need to empty my inventory. Buy stone. That wouldn't be a bad option for getting emeralds. That way I could repair my pickaxe at the same time. But it is a bit much stone. And you want to go and meet, but of course your welcome mat is preventing you. Why are there so many golems? Well, at least this house has been designed so that villagers can't be silly. Yay! Finally. Now I might need to buy some chiseled stone bricks. Even though I don't really need those. You sell both... No, actually I don't care about polished stone. Okay. Polished andesite. I'll take an entire stack. And I now have more polished andesite, which will be very useful. So, I think I'll just finish off the roof here, and then I will be right back. Alright, so I'm leaving the outer wall of this cloister without a roof on it, because there's going to be things around this cloister, and they're probably going to share these walls, so I decided not to put bricks on top of them because of that. And inside I decided to put cobblestone walls around the garden instead of having a block of stone there, which was really just for me figuring out where I wanted the actual corridors of the cloister to go. And I'm placing stone down here because I think that unlike the chapel, I think stone is probably better because it kind of looks worn. Alright, so I'm back, and as you can see, here is the cloisters there. Of course, they are a little bit of a work in progress, but they are mostly complete. I'm planning on keeping a stone floor in here, whatever the floor I wind up doing in the actual chapel. The only section that I didn't do is this section, because I need to figure out what I'll do with this corner buttress. So this is largely finished. I'll need to add doorways and things into it to actually, when I actually put in places that come off this. And of course the actual garden isn't finished, so I'll be doing that in later episodes. But I've run out of time for today. So yeah, thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. And yeah, goodbye.